This is a follow-up podcast on the man that was accused of stealing a cyclist's bike, riding it onto I-5. Police had to shut down I-5 at the 𝐏𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐸 Bridge here in Seattle, tase him, helicopters overhead. Do not ride your bike onto the interstate. We need you to pull over. Literally, this was a scene on one of the most heavily traveled portions of Interstate 5, just as you enter into downtown Seattle. Well, that dude has been charged with a couple of things. We're going to talk about that. He may also have an outstanding warrant for something. We're going to talk about it. Before we jump on in, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Sean Reynolds. I own a couple of real estate companies, and I read news that you often won't find elsewhere because it doesn't seem to fit the narrative that people want to talk about. A crazy guy, crazy homeless guy, stopping traffic on an interstate because he's whacked out of his mind. Drugs involved? Yeah, let's get into it. All right. Thanks for being here, by the way. Thanks for checking this out. A man accused of wrestling a bike away from Cyclist and riding it on Interstate 5 last week has been charged. On Wednesday, the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office charged Jason Lis with assault in the third degree, and theft in the first degree. His bail was set at $25,000. So these charges, maybe he could get up to 5 years, but guaranteed. It doesn't sound like he has any other major charges on his record. He's got something we'll talk about in a second, but it doesn't sound like he's the convicted felon that oftentimes is, responsible for this. My guess is he's whacked out on drugs and he's living homeless in Seattle because this is this is nirvana for drug addicts and criminals and homeless people, because you come to Seattle and we just set you up at taxpayers' expense. We just set you up. I mean, here's a clean needle. That doesn't work out. Here's a booty bump kit. Yeah, you can put it where the sun don't shine. Here's a tent. Here's some clothes. Here's medical services. Oh, you need some help with your mental. There are some folks that honestly need help. There are a lot of folks that are just abusing the system. Guaranteed, this dude, his story. All right. Before we go any further, if you didn't see my other podcast on this one, let me just play you a super quick clip of how this looked when he's riding his bicycle down the interstate and what the aftermath of that was closing down I-5. So here we go. Yeah, so not a good scene. I mean, the way I heard about this story, before I did the first podcast, was that I had a bunch of people say, man, it's a big holdup on I-5. Traffic was horrible. It's backed up for hours. What was the deal? Well, a dude who got frustrated that he couldn't get on a bus bashed out the windows and door of a bus, and then he got agitated and still couldn't get on the bus. It wasn't a bus stop. So then he, steals a bike, as you do, and it's real close to I-5. So he's just pissed off. He's not doing well. Who knows what's going. Maybe he's, took a little hit of meth, gave him that meth energy. His tent might have had a leak in it from the night before. We're not really sure, but it's Seattle. That could be a problem. And so he rides his damn stolen bicycle onto Interstate 5. And he literally, this is a busy section of Interstate 5. He crosses 5 lines of traffic to get over to where the exit is to come eastbound to 520. It's where I go. It's where my office is here. So, but he's on a bicycle. So he's doing the bike thing. And then he crosses over all these lanes on the freeway. Traffic's like 70 miles an hour in through this area. And then he crosses back over. And that's when the police basically just took him down, tased him, took him out. And all this while, they've got traffic backed up. There's helicopters overhead. I mean, it is just a disaster. This is what you get for progressive policies that allow people to do drugs willy-nilly, whatever. You basically eliminate, all crime. It's not a crime. Stealing a bike, I mean, that's a crime of need. You needed to get somewhere from point A to point B. And, they wouldn't let you on the bus because it's not at a bus stop. So you stole that poor guy's bike. It was a crime of necessity. You needed to ride your bicycle on the interstate. That's literally what we had. It's mind-boggling. It's shocking. So much progress here in Seattle. I mean, it's astounding. According to documents, Lis was apparently upset about not being allowed on a bus near 7th Avenue Northeast and Northeast 45th Street. So the on-ramp is right there at Northeast 45th Street. Northeast 45th Street is an area where there's always a whole bunch of people camped out there. It's the University of Washington kind of district. You got a food bank super close by. You got people living in tents all over. There's drugs everywhere. I mean, we just had a double homicide a few blocks down at 47th and Meridian, I think so. So very, very close to this, within a half mile of this. So he was allowed on a bus near 7th Avenue Northeast and Northeast 45th. So he shattered the glass on the bus door, as you do. I mean, if you're upset, nothing says shattering glass like, anything else. The bus was not at a designated stop when he tried to get on. Therefore, they wouldn't let him on. Yeah, this is a no-go. Oh, yeah. So he shatters the glass. Passengers on the bus say they saw him wrestle a nearby cyclist and steal their bike. Now, we've seen that footage as well. And it's just this tug of war back and forth with this guy who's got a bike helmet on, another kind of bike gear. He steals the guy's bike. Lis then rode the bike onto southbound I-5 because it was an on-ramp. Officers tased Lis, and he was eventually taken into custody. Prosecutors say at the time of his arrest, Lis had a warrant for a 2019 meth delivery charge. So drugs are involved. This guy probably homeless. I don't really know. Definitely a little tweaked, that's for sure. But you don't bash out a window on a bus and then steal somebody's bicycle and then ride it onto the interstate unless you are literally not in your normal state of mind. Nobody does that normally, right? I think we can agree on that. This guy is out of his mind. And these are the kind of people that we are attracting here in Seattle. Portland's doing the same thing. San Francisco, same thing. Oh, yeah. I'm not doing all that well, but hey, I'll go up there and I'll get that free tent, that free support, get services, wraparound services till kingdom come. Taxpayers, they pay it all. They pick it up. Sometimes we'll even get some free drugs. Yeah, this is literally what you get. So this guy he's getting, what do we say? Assault in the 3rd degree and then theft in the 1st degree. Theft in the 1st degree, I was doing some research, is like for $5,000 and over. So is that for the stealing the bike? Is that the bike? I was a little confused. And assault in the 3rd degree, I believe that was because he assaulted the bus and the bus driver. You can't do that. It's a hard no-go. So that's assault in the 3rd degree. Guarantee he gets convicted or he does some kind of diversion thing where he's got to go sign up for a drug program and then we'll lose track of him and he'll be one of 5,000 felony cases floating around. I don't know what happened to him. Then he'll end up killing somebody in a tent somewhere and we'll go, yeah, the wheels of justice just turned a little too slow on this one. Little too slow. They're a little creaky, little rusty. Wow. Yeah. How times have changed, huh? Yeah. All right. So that's what we got. So this guy's a nut job. He deserves to be in prison or he deserves to be in somewhere drying out from his addiction. Guarantee there's that. Or mental institution, because he is tweaked to some extent somehow and doesn't belong. Anybody who does this kind of stuff, yeah. Jail, mental institution. Well, we've been talking about the mental institution and how the state is paying people $250 a day because if they are deemed not fit to stand trial, and then we can't get them into a mental institution for observance to see if they are fit to stand trial, we got to pay him $250 a day. The one guy who threw the woman down the stairs, and right before that did stab somebody. I mean, horrific crimes. He's getting paid $250 a day, up to what they think is maybe 17 grand, because they don't have enough space in the mental facilities, mental institutions here. And these kind of people just keep on a-coming to Seattle, to Freattle. And then we wonder, why is that happening? How does that happen? How did we get here? Whose wine? What wine? Where the hell did I dine? You know, those kind of things. Crazy, right? Crazy. Yeah, there's that. All right. That's it for me. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch up soon. Thanks again. Bye for now. And as soon as I hear anything more on this guy, I'll let you know. You know I will. I will. Thanks again. Bye for now.